their names many a times. We're going to say them even more now with more excitement in our voices, Ryan, as it's time to kick it off. Spart1e, the Swedish superstar, versus Garpy, the British bulldog.
Well, thank you very much for sticking around with us. It was going to happen at one point. It was always inevitable with online broadcasts, and here we are. Garpy's getting some opening damage. Running low on LG, though, so he's kind of forced into a difficult position. Goes in for the dire orb, and fortunately, Spart1e was able to collect that frag, and that actually we went straight in. That's actually the kind of fight where if it went completely, pear-shaped, you would have been worried about him because he put all of his eggs in one basket, with that dire orb, and he almost didn't actually get the frag at all. If he tried to go for a bold play and died immediately, that's where I think the tilt can sometimes come into play. Fortunately, though, didn't happen, as now another fight's breaking out near LG. Pretty even split on the pickups as well. We'll see what the fight's going to be.
I would also make him a bad farmer, Ryan.
Because he can't manage it.
Yeah.
One of the crops is going off halfway through.
It's all gone wrong. The potato famine's kicking in. But
can't give it all the love and attention that it so desires.
Well, there's also the famine for the rockets right now. He's been starved out on those. This the LG's been fueled up. It's going to kill the turret as well, so there's no hashtag free brick action here in EU.
Garpy been able to kind of zip in there, get the LG. That was his objective, but the swap doesn't quite work out. I actually love the way Garpy took that. He had the information, he knew his turret went down, so he kind of has a rough idea of where Spart1e is. It's kind of fair to assume he's in Mega Room anyway. But now he's got himself an LG, he doesn't have to be so sort of like dominant to try and sort of strong arm his way into Mega. Because in many ways, the objective is kind of get in and out with the LG and live to tell the tale. And now he's got the rest of the map to kind of mess around with. He's got a lovely stack, he has the presence with the turret now there as well. And now it's all about just getting some ammo, and in turn, forcing Spart1e away, because he spent so much time in Mega, he's having to run away and get a little bit of armor. Puts him in a pretty predictable position. And now Garpy's looking for a bit of information. Yeah, he heard him, but I think I failed to kind of gauge which room he was going to run through. Instead, he's going down by nail. Dire orb play once more doesn't work out. It worked out for Spart1e in the first frag, but this time, I think just a complete misjudging of Garpy's stack. Even if he got a little bit of dire orb damage, it wouldn't have really scared Garpy too much, and I still think he'd have got the frag there.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. It looks like basically, at this point, he's in a fairly commanding position as well. If he can carry on with this, he can try and slow down the pace of the game. Doesn't have to get too overly aggressive. Just going for the pot shot rockets right now. The bottle rockets, if you will, as he fires them out. The turret is going to go down, just blocking a small tad bit of damage. But here's the aggression from Spart1e. He's looking like he's starting to try and get his head in the game. Goes in with the rockets. A nice hit as he has to back out. He has got Garpy tremendously low, though. And he fancies his chances with the LG. Moving in to grab some stack as he gets the armor back up. That's the dire orb across. Would it be a nice prediction as they're close by? The rocket's going to tag him as well, Ryan. He gets him close, but it's not the frag just yet.
I think he could still have it, though. There's not a long... There's quite actually a bit of a gap until we see Mega. Garpy, I think, maybe misjudging Spart1e's position there. Taking a lot of damage and being semi-stuck in no man's land, especially those really good defensive rockets as Spart1e's trying to establish distance, putting Garpy incredibly low. And when he has a stack this low, it's kind of a risk to actually sit around. Spart1e's trying to play it safe, which I do understand. He's going to try and stack up before he takes this fight. But Garpy... I mean, that's a suicide, but either way, that was a frag. Like, that was either going to be a +1 for Spart1e or a -1 for Garpy in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of alright. Like, at this point, you've just negated the frag rather than giving it away, so you're still 1-1. Ooh, it could have been a 2-1 there, though, as the rocket goes straight across, slaps him in the face, nearly removes his lips forcibly, and puts him down fairly low. Luckily, he's got a bit of time to play with, can back off, start to try and add towards that stack and get his HP back. But Spart1e, he's got a lot more map control to play with here. He's also tagging him up as well. Goes up for a couple of shots on the nail gun, just in case he can land a cheeky tag on the way out.
Now, I think in this position, Spart1e, I think that the saving graces he's had is just these rockets have been sublime. He's hit quite a few of these long-distance rockets that's just catching Garpy almost direct, by the way. We're going to have a crazy fight here, and Spart1e faster on the trigger finger. Garpy's in a difficult position, hitting some more defensive rockets of his own, and he can't escape. We say that Garpy at once upon a time had the best rockets in the business. That is exactly why. We were so ready for Spart1e to take that, and Garpy just hit the magic shot. However, Spart1e spawning near LG. Not a bad spawn at all. Now he's well equipped to take this fight. And the fight he will. He's going to press the advantage, force Garpy away from the Mega. And Garpy, another good defensive rocket. But he needs a little bit more than that. He's going to try and head him off. Can't hit any of those machine gun shots, unfortunately. Minimal damage on the LG. Garpy sticking around. Hits another excellent rocket. This fight is anyone's fight to go at this stage. But they're still sticking around! Oh my word! He's chasing it down! Garpy takes the bluff. Is he going to get hit? He will indeed. Spart1e with the absolutely magnificent orb. In many ways, that was a 50-50. Will he teleport? But it's spawn! What a spawn! Garpy just piling in. And now, there's a really nice delay on Heavy. If Garpy gets this fight, which he can't, thanks to Spart1e's rockets, he's in a good position now to try and take this Heavy. What a back and forth this has been, Jackie.
Yeah, it's crazy as well. The slower playstyle, the much more elongated fights. The fact is, we've only had 6 frags currently on the board right now, within the total of 5 minutes, but it's been a lot more intense than the actual firefights they have had. Definitely dragged out longest they can try and play around, as we're attempt to see another kill coming through here for Spart1e, getting a bit aggressive with the LG, tries to get the tag up and make this one shocking. The direct rocket is a tasty way to start it. He does go in, but Garpy, again, gets the better of him. He's going to be able to hit him with a backbreaker and leave him lifeless on the ground. Again on the re-entry, hoping to try and do another Elton John here as he's firing out those warning shots. Turret going to be put down for the map control as well, blocking off one of the choke points. And this gives him a lot of time to play with, to just try and take it as his own pace, roam around, add towards the stack, and then go back in for another fight, dropping fairly low. Barely stays alive at that point and actually lands the rocket as well on the way out.
But it's once more. First of all, the placing of Garpy's turret, so he's going to get information on where the spawn was. He hasn't got to worry as much taking the Mega. Doesn't have complete information just yet. And now he gets the turnaround. Spart1e's in a very bad position. Hasn't spawned particularly close to any rockets either. So that's why, depending on the spawn Spart1e gets, might dictate how well he does whenever he gets encountered by Garpy. Because one of the things that's really been keeping him in this fight is the rocket. And I wouldn't actually be surprised if Garpy's objective here is going to be to keep Spart1e away from it, because that's been, paying its dues. Speaking of which, though, that nail has other plans. I was going to say maybe Garpy would try and keep him away from the rocket a little bit, but it wasn't his decision to make. Spart1e just flying in and Garpy completely underestimating the damage the nail gun could do there.
Coming up close towards the 7-minute mark here, though. It's a 2-kill lead right now for Garpy. He's in a fairly commanding position. It's not too bad across the board with the weapons he's actually got to play with, so overall he's going to be fairly confident. Bit of a close miss there on the rocket from Spart1e as he binds his way across. And here we go, back into the aggression. Goes in with the lightning gun, starts getting the spam down. Garpy still adding to that stack, so he's not going to be too worried about the fight they've been locked into. On the other hand, Spart1e could be a little bit shaken at this point. He is still railing down onto him with those rockets. Garpy's tremendously low. The dire orb on the entry, and he blows him to bits.
Absolutely perfect. And he's going to get another decent amount of damage. Pretty weak, though. Looks to me like Garpy might be pressing somewhat of advantage. He's trying to strong arm his way towards the Mega. Hit some entry damage on Spart1e. Spart1e, wisely, we could say, using the passive there of Ranger, less self-damage. So he gets a rocket jumper, a HP count that would otherwise be very, very dangerous. The problem is, it did put him quite weak, and there's not been a lot of pickups that he can use to get himself back. I think he's put himself into a corner here. He's trying to get as much damage as he can, but there's still nothing to pick up. He's trying to fight him away from the Heavy, and it's just not working. Spart1e overstaying his welcome, and the second he went down that jump pad, I think he was already, that was a death sentence right there. Not much he could do.
Yeah, it was a rough fight as well. Just hoping to try and spook him off if possible, do some damage with the tri-bolt, anything he could to not make it such a ridiculous advantage for Garpy, but it doesn't go his way. It leaves him with quite a sour taste in his mouth as well. Once again, it's a 2-frag lead for Garpy. Time running out as well. Not too long left on the clock at this point, as we're going to hit about 1:30 soon. And Spart1e, if he's going to come back into the game, he needs to do so fairly quickly. Garpy, he can just toy with him at this point. He's doing so much damage as well. Looks like it should be another frag for free. He did get low, close to the mark, surviving with just a tad bit of HP, but he still gets it.
Pretty sure the only reason Spart1e didn't suicide there as well is because he's playing Ranger. I think that's one of the benefits that Ranger will always have. The fact it does less self-damage, things like rocket launchers, it kind of makes your decision-making a little bit easier. You haven't got to calculate as much of your rocket jumps and stuff like that, but yeah, we're in a dangerous position now where the back and forth has been nice and close for the most part, but that one error in judgment, Spart1e's pretty far behind here, and he hasn't got a lot of time to play with it. He has to get 3 frags in 1 minute. So what was essentially, an entire map's worth of 1 frag in it, we're not there anymore, and I mean, Garpy at this point can just waste time. He's going to get the suicide, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about trying to close that gap, right? Doesn't matter if that was a frag or not. It's now going to be 2 frags to go for Spart1e to even things up. Can he do it? Oh, okay. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Just like that, Spart1e is on the verge. He needs 1 more frag. Garpy can play defensively if he wants, but he can only be so defensive on Corrupted Keep. He's going in for more rockets, but he misses the second one, and he's quite weak as well. Garpy has actually run into the nail room, so he's taken up all of the valuable pickups, only leaving him 1 health bubble and a rocket for dinner. Oh no. Oh no, he needed that. He needed that so bad.
That's the difference between them actually pushing it out to the sudden death and Garpy just walking away with a victory. It doesn't matter, the Spart1e gets one at the end there to at least try and bring it back into a closer form as he gets the consolation frag, but it won't change the outcome. Garpy does lock it down 8-7. Much closer than it actually looked there towards the final few seconds of that. It could have been so good for Spart1e, but Garpy takes it through. So he starts it well with your prediction there, Ryan.
I mean, it wasn't one-sided, that's the thing. It was a map that definitely could have gone either way. It was just a little bit of a disastrous end where I think Spart1e just kind of made some